Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. If you're new to our channel, welcome. Here at Mad About Skin, we're passionate about helping you to get the most out of your skincare. So if you haven't already, now's a fantastic time to click that link below, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, and you won't miss out on any of our amazing future content. Now, in today's video, we've got another new skincare launch coming from one of my most favorite brands of all time. It's Drugstore. It's fantastic. Their integrity is through the roof and their formulations are beautiful. So I have high hopes for this product. It's launching on the 1st of September, but I've got my hands on the ingredients list, so we're going to talk through that, what we can expect, give you a few sneak peeks for what we've heard so far, and just basically give you the lowdown and the tea on what I think this product is going to deliver and whether you need to rush out and buy it on the 1st of September when it launches. This, of course, is coming from the Inkey List, a gorgeous British brand, but ships worldwide, and this is their new SPF. Leave an image of it there. This is an SPF 30, 100% mineral UV filters, which is absolutely fantastic. You guys are always coming at me saying what new mineral sunscreens are coming on the market, because there's this huge demand for mineral sunscreens at the moment. There's quite a few concerns around chemical sunscreens, their absorption into the body and some impacts that it can have on the body. And so people are really looking for alternatives, and mineral sunscreen is a fantastic option. So I was super excited when I heard not just that the Inkey List were launching an SPF, but it was going to be a mineral SPF, because I think that's something quite new in the market. Don't get me wrong, there's loads of mineral SPFs out there, but finding a drugstore, which the Inkey List is drugstore through and through, mineral SPF available quite readily in drugstores is really quite exciting. So I couldn't wait to read through the ingredients list. Now, I'm going to be buying this on the 1st of September straight away, irrespective of what I think in this video, because I want to give it a full wear test, try it, test it for ashiness and how it applies. So I'll be giving a full review of this product on the 1st of September when it launches. I'm going to give you the lowdown of what we can expect and whether we should be excited about this product. So first of all, 100% mineral UV filters, which is fantastic. It's a broad spectrum SPF 30. That's really good. There is no point, 0 point coming out with anything less than an SPF 30. It's just not going to give you the protection that you need. I was really disappointed when The Ordinary brought out their SPF range and it had a SPF of 15 in there. What's the point? It's not recommended by dermatologists, and there is 0 point applying an SPF 15. It's not going to give you the protection that you need to prevent aging and cancer. So definitely love the fact that they've launched with an SPF 30, and this is going to be the lowest SPF in their range. I think that's fantastic. Anyone that's watched this channel before knows, I do usually shade skincare companies that come out with a whole suite of skincare and don't have an SPF in there, because I always say there is 0 point doing any skincare if you aren't going to finish it with an SPF. What's the point of tackling some of the skin complaints you have, premature aging, fine lines, texture, acne, all of these things, if you're not going to use the one thing which is going to prevent further proliferation of these things? An SPF is absolutely crucial in your skincare routine. I was disappointed with the Inkey List that they didn't have an SPF from the start. I think it's just something we come to expect these days. I called out Fenty Beauty for being absolutely fantastic. Their Fenty Skincare, which I did a review, I'll link that up there if you want to check that out. That's a new launch coming literally next week. They have an SPF from the launch, and I called that out as really being a standout and something I think all brands should aspire to. So I was disappointed with the Inkey List, but they've made up by having this. Now, some of you might come at me and say they had their zinc moisturiser. That was an SPF. You're missing that out. I hated that product. It wasn't advertised properly. It wasn't advertised as an SPF. It was as a moisturiser. It had zinc oxide in there, so it acted as a bit of an SPF, but it also had some chemical UV filters in there, which was a bit confusing. It was a very mixed, badly marketed, badly described product. I had no idea what it was. I didn't feel comfortable reviewing it because I think skincare should be accessible and easy to understand, and that product just wasn't. I had no sure what the purpose of it was, so I'm not including that as an SPF because it never said on that product SPF. So this for me is their first SPF identified as an SPF, sold as an SPF that they have in their skincare routine, and I'm super excited about it. So let's have a look through some of the ingredients that are in there. So we have 22% zinc oxide. That's pretty standard concentration for a good broad spectrum sunscreen. You'd expect around the 22 to 25% of zinc oxide. So I think that's a really good formulation and is going to give you the protection that you need. It's been tested and it comes out as a SPF 30, which is fantastic. Again, protection at the right level to allow you to get all the benefits from it without appearing to have too heavy a coverage, which some higher concentrations of zinc oxide can give. So I think that's really nice. Interestingly, this is non-nano zinc oxide. So there's two different types of zinc oxide. You can get the standard zinc oxide, which is what is in here. You can also get nano zinc oxide, which is just obviously, like I said, it comes in the form of a nano particle. a lot of people aren't fans of nano zinc oxide. There's not any studies that prove that it does do any harm to the body, but there's some concern that the smaller the particle, the greater the chance of it being absorbed into the body, but also doing extra environmental damage if it gets into things like water systems and things like that. I'm not sold on that. There's no actual concrete proof that that's the case, but some people do avoid these nanotechnologies for that reason. A little bit similar, I liken it to like microplastics, where you don't see it, but the cumulative effect of it can be quite disastrous to some ecosystems. Again, there's no actual scientific proof behind that, but I do appreciate why some people avoid that. So I like the fact this is non-nano. This is the full-sized, full particle-sized zinc oxide, which means, yes, it might appear a little bit more white on the skin, but it's not going to have some of those concerns which people do have associated with nanoparticles. So I like that. It's accessible to everybody. It's also got 1%, well, this is a little bit confusing, but it's got pollution stop in there. 1% of it is pollution stop. This is just a brand name for a trademark name for an antioxidant, which is really good. I like to have antioxidants within SPFs. I think it's a great time to combine an SPF and an antioxidant to give you that double whammy of protection. Antioxidants just absorb those free radicals. So if you think of it as a mineral, SPF is going to block those free radicals, cast them off, cast those UV rays off. Any that do get through, the antioxidant's going to deal with before it can damage the skin. So I love that, and I love the fact that they've got an antioxidant in here. It's a shame that they've gone with the trade name on here at the pollution stop, because actually that doesn't tell us what the antioxidant is. I'd like to know actually what the antioxidant is in here, but it's an antioxidant, and I think it's a nice addition to the product. It's got 2% shea butter. Shea butter is a gorgeous, gorgeous moisturiser. Zinc oxide can be a little bit drying, so this is to counteract any dryness that you might get from it, which I think is lovely. It's going to mean it's applicable for all skin types, not just the oily or those that don't suffer with any dryness. If you have dry skin, you could absolutely use this, and that shea butter should mean it goes on properly and you don't get that sort of like the flakiness. It sits in any clings to any dryness that you might have on the skin and make it worse, exacerbate it. This shouldn't do that because you've got that shea butter in it, which I really like. It has got silicones and dimethicone in there. That isn't an issue. Some people go, silicones, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. They're not. I mean, they're meant to be this guy. People say they age you. There is literally zero scientific evidence that they age you, so get that out of your head, that they clog your pores. They don't if you're not using them within a comedogenic product with other comedogenic ingredients, so they won't clog your pores. They can be quite difficult to remove, so you do need to do a thorough cleanse because they can become cumulative. They sit on the skin, particularly in the hair. If you're using products with silicone hair products, it can end up having a cumulative effect. So you do need to make sure you get them off with a robust cleanse at the end of the day. But silicons are fine, and they still just mean it glides on like a dream. There'll be none of that chalkiness which you can get with zinc oxide. It'll go on beautifully, smear on, and give you a really nice look. It'll also help to diminish the signs of like pores. Sometimes chemical and mineral SPFs can sit in the pores and exacerbate the pore size. This should just mean that that doesn't happen and you get that beautiful canvas to apply any makeup that you want to after it. So I love that. It's got the standard bulking agents in, which you'd expect. There's nothing to worry about there. There's no nasties in here that I can see. And also it's got a low level non-cosmetic tint. Now that just means it's got some element of coloration to it to offset some of the white, ashy white cast that you're going to get from zinc oxide. Zinc oxide is literally pure brilliant white in its natural state, and so that's why you end up, if anyone's seen Mark Zuckerberg on his surfboard and everyone read him to filth for having literally the whitest face possible because he had so much SPF on there, that's not a bad thing. He's protecting his skin, but it can come across as a bit white cast, a bit ashy, just not great. So they've put a non-cosmetic tint in here, which just means instead of it being like a BB cream, a CC cream, it's a non-cosmetic tint, which will just offset some of that whiteness and that ashiness that you would normally get with a zinc oxide product. So that's really nice. Overall, should we do the pros first? Let's do the pros first. I'm a huge fan of the Inkey List. However, I have some reservations about this product, which I'm going to come into. But let's start with the positives and let's go through the pros. So for me, the pros are it's vegan, it's cruelty-free, and it's fragrance-free. I love that. The Inkey List are fantastic. They always keep it cruelty-free, which is a big tick in the box, a big ding for me. I like the fact they're vegan. People are increasingly living a plant-based lifestyle these days, so it's nice, it's accessible to everybody and doesn't have any animal derivatives in, which I think is great. Fragrance-free because it's sitting on your skin all day. You don't want too much fragrance to interact with your skin, so I love the fact it's fragrance-free. I think that's fantastic. It's going to be really hydrating because you've got that shea butter in there. So if you are dry skinned and you feel like you can never use a mineral sunscreen because it just clings to those areas of dryness, this could be a really good option for you, because that hydrating element is going to make sure you don't have any of that side effects and any of those issues, which is great. It's going to give you the sun protection you need, factor 30, beautiful. Sun creams at factor 30 or above are fantastic, and it's broad spectrum, which I really like. I like that they also, the Inkey List in general, try to be sustainable as a company. I do think we should be looking for less packaging, more sustainable packaging. 50% of the packaging used here is from recycled material, which is great. It's also fully recyclable, so you can then recycle it again, and on it goes. So I like that, and I think whilst it shouldn't be the reason you buy a product or don't buy a product, it's nice to have that. It's nice that there's been that consideration made to how sustainable the product can be. The antioxidant built in is a huge pro for me. I think it's fantastic. I encourage everybody to use a standalone antioxidant. They rarely do. It's always the thing that gets missed. So having it in your SPF already is a great way of just kind of having 2 steps in one in your skincare routine. And I like the fact they've applied some colorant to the product to offset some of that whiteness and that ashiness that you're going to get with the zinc oxide. I like that. It's marketed as being suitable for all skin types. I think having looked at the ingredients, yes, it's fine. I will have to test it on my oily acne skin to make sure that shea butter isn't just a little bit too rich and possibly a little bit clogging. But I don't think it will be. I've always been fine with shea butter. It's not particularly comedogenic, especially if it's used in low level quantities, so I think you'll be okay with that, but I do want to give it a thorough, robust test before I confirm that. But this will be beautiful for dry skinned, normal or combination skin. This is going to be sensational. Also will be suitable for people with sensitive skin because there's none of the nasties in there and there's no fragrance in there, so that's wonderful. Now on to the con. The con for me has got to come down to the fact this is advertised for all skin tones. I cannot see. I would love to see a review done of this on the darkest of dark skin tones, because I cannot see how a product with this level of zinc oxide that isn't nanoparticled and doesn't have a heavy tint or colorant to it is going to be able to offset any of that ashiness. Also, when we talk about this colorant, the color of my skin, very different to the colour of some darker, even olive-skinned people, to some of the beautiful dark skin tones that we have. So a colorant added to this to match, say, my skin tone and make sure it doesn't look obvious that I'm wearing an SPF isn't going to work on someone that's got a very dark skin tone. So I can't see how they're going to do a one-size-fits-all product, and I do worry that this has been a little bit misleading, saying it's suitable for everybody, when I just can't see that that's going to be the case. I will reserve judgment, and I'll try it for you on the 1st of September when I can get my hands on it. I will reserve judgment and see, but I would like to see this tested on some really dark, rich skin tones so we can work out whether it's actually going to come across as ashy or white cast, because to me, I just can't see anything in here that's going to avoid that. So I think that's, for me, a little bit disappointing. I also think at the $14.99 for 50 mils, it's okay on the price point. It's not super drugstore, but it's okay on the price point. My challenge in all of this is I've discovered some beautiful Korean skincare SPFs. I love the Purito Unscented, beautiful. The Purito Comfy Water Mineral Sunscreen, that's gorgeous. There's just so many out there that you guys have been recommended and enjoying. I think Korea is where it's at with SPFs and innovation. You know, you can apply some of the the Supergoop Unseen is literally invisible on the skin, and these really should be the go-to. I don't know that the Inkey List are really adding anything innovative or exciting with this launch. I don't see how there's going to be any extra. They can't really improve on the Unseen sunscreen by Goop, for example. That is literally invisible. They can't really improve on that. So I think they've maybe launched this a little bit too late. I'm not sold on the price being that amazing. The formulation, not that wonderful. It's kind of a very average SPF. If you want to shop entirely from the Inkey List, and there are people out there that just want to fill their basket on one website, click, go, check out, and move on with their life, this is going to be fine. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic skincare SPF. No issues with it whatsoever. If you want a high performance SPF, you want guaranteed unseen, you want the no ashiness, no residue, there are better ones out there, and I don't think there's anything in this formulation that's going to change my mind on that. However, come the 1st of September, I'll be the first to slather it on my face, and I will let you know with a full live rundown and wear test. Guys, let me know, are you excited for this launch? Do you get excited about SPFs, or is it just really like that last step, you just slather on because you know you have to and move on? Tell me, what are your go-to SPFs? I love to hear, particularly Korean skincare ones, because I really really want to expand my Korean skincare haul. So let me know of any recommendations that you have. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I love filming these like first looks, first reviews, something that we can kind of get excited about and get the conversation going. So do give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and wherever you are in the world, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.